You're live. Well, hello, everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I hope your week has been starting out phenomenal and everyone on the West Coast has been safe, with all the storms that are happening. Listen, I am super excited today to introduce you to my guest. A really great friend of mine, colleague, superhero, confidant. There's not enough adjectives to explain what she means to me and the difference that she's making in her circle of influence. And, it's everything that I speak to about being the change that you wish to see in the world. And Wellness Wednesdays are all about ways that you can live your best life now, whether that's health, whether that's finances, whether that's mindset, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Shasta Broadus is the CEO and founder of Capital Stewardship. And what she does is she works with entrepreneurs and allow them and work with them to be better stewards of their dollars. She does so much more. That is such a loaded statement of what she does. I'm going to bring her on to have her introduce herself and talk about specifically what she does, how you all can, reach out to her, your products and services that she offers. And she's got an upcoming event too coming up. So Shasta, it's so nice to have you on today.
Yes, Dr. Nancy, it's so good to be here. I'm so excited to see the evolution of Wellness Wednesdays. I remember when it was just a thought and we were like, what can we do to get back out there? So I'm glad to be a guest today. Thank you for having me.
You're absolutely welcome. So you push me. And I think so for everyone out there, you got to have someone that is in your camp that is rowing with you and not poking holes in your ship or your boat, right? And that challenges you in a positive way to be the best person, to live to your highest self. And Shasta, you do that. You do that for me. Today we're going to talk about EQ and emotional intelligence. She makes me be a better person because of who she is and just the energy and the light that she emits whenever I'm around her. So Shasta, tell us a little bit about what we're talking about today, the topic.
Well, thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction, Dr. Nancy. I really do, pride myself on leading by example and showing up and just trying to be the best person that I can be. So I definitely appreciate you recognizing that in me. And just for those that don't know, my background's in psychology. So, I'm always talking through, mindset and, how we can show up and impact each other. And, a lot of people think about IQ, which is how intelligent we are, but nobody really ever talks about EQ, which is how we measure, our emotional intelligence. And all that means is, what does that look like when we show up and interact with others, right? How are we reading the room? Are we aware of other people's emotions? And, just being vigilant, in how we interact and how we engage with others.
No, that's an excellent point. And it's work. Let me just tell you, when you have to face your own challenges to be better and recognize that, wow, I can be better, I can do better, and this is what it looks like. And so you do have to have people around you, and you have to be as your own individual self-aware to be better too. So I'm constantly learning and growing, and we will always be in that constant state as long as we live learning and growing. You should feel like you are learning and growing every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I feel that, people kind of misstep, with the emotional intelligence a lot because sometimes we don't realize that everything starts with us, right? We're like in such a world where we're looking out at everything, and a lot of the value that we actually have is so intrinsic, which you can't see. And so helping people to understand like those intrinsic values that we all hold and how that shows up and manifests in our interactions and engagements, it's just so important because we're so used to being able to see, feel, and touch these things. But there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes with our energy, our words, our vibration. And so trying to be able to help people become more aware of that and understand, the difference between, your IQ versus your EQ. And so I went online just to kind of get a couple, thoughts together, for this. And so I wanted to read like a little bit of a excerpt about what emotional intelligence is. So just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Or what the difference is so that people know. So basically, because both EQ and IQ assess your logical and emotional problem solving skills, that may support your overall development. IQ tests traditionally contain patterns to solve, while EQ tests present hypothetical questions that require complex answers, right? Remember those word problems in school? That's essentially, what it is when we're like dealing with our emotional intelligence. So you can develop your EQ and IQ in these areas through repetitive problem solving and social situations that can raise your awareness. So I know we've all walked into a room, or maybe we've seen someone else walk into the room and the energy changes, right? And that's a part of being emotionally aware and be realizing, what is this energy? What is that? Why did it change or why did it shift? And being able to stop, think and really just position, who you are and what that means to you as you're, interacting and engaging. So being able to help people realize that there are two different ways that we're showing up with each other, both logically and emotionally. And we have to basically learn how to blend that to have better relationships.
Well, that's an excellent point. And, you and I have often said that interacting with someone is a level of energy exchange, good, bad, or indifferent. And
Absolutely.
it's a skill set that you have to constantly work at. It's not innate, although it's intrinsic, but it takes
Right.
work, right?
That's right.
Because, it's easy enough to just go with the flow of what other people are doing or society is doing, but that emotional intelligence within that intrinsic factor
Mm-hmm.
convicts you to want to be better, to do better, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it is a choice though, right, Shasta?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, because we're all coming from different upbringings and different styles of being raised, and we have bad habits, and we might have picked up some things along the way that we don't even realize that we're doing. And it just shows up sometimes when we're interacting with each other because we are mirrors of one another, essentially, right? So being able to help others understand like how this impacts our mindset. Right. Because essentially, when you don't have good relationships, I mean, something's going on, right? And people are doing business and they're having different family dynamics. And I'm sure everybody's had those situations where there's a big elephant in the room, but nobody's addressing it because they just have to get things done. And so it's just kind of like, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to rehash anything. We're here to do a job, or we're here for the family function. We don't want to cause any problems. And so.
So, when you do address the elephant in the room, it can be somewhat tenuous at the beginning, but when you work through that process, in the end, typically there's a breakthrough and there's such a relief in terms of getting understanding. And you're right, everyone comes from these different backgrounds on how they say what they say, the body
Mhm.
language that's followed behind all of that. And
Right.
all of that is all tied into like history too. And so
Mhm.
everything's really perspective. And again, if you want to be a better person, sharpening your skills in that emotional intelligence area will allow you to be that better person. But it's really up to you on how you choose to see things and want to work things out when there may be some tension and conflict, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, most of the times it's our ego, right? Because we want to be able to say, hey, I was impacted or I felt a certain type of way. But when we want to have good relationships with each other and we want to see through our vision or whatever it is why we came together, being able to speak with each other respectfully and be able to understand where each other is coming from. Because like you mentioned, we all have different perspectives, really helps to break down, those barriers, right? And to be able to see like, hey, this person is on my side. They're not meaning to do anything wrong, because there are people whose motives are not good. And you can definitely tell when they're not doing the right thing. But when somebody is actually really trying to be there for you, they're trying to show up for you, being able to have those type of conversations, I definitely think makes the difference. And we're small business owners, and so being able to team build, this is where all this stuff comes into play, and being able to help other people realize that.
Well, that's an excellent segue, Shasta, because of what it is that you specifically specialize in your field of industry, right? So you can raise everyone's level of emotional intelligence when they tap into your resources and how you work and the overview of a person's business that you see, and these little holes that need to be filled, that when you're so involved, you cannot see the outside of, and when someone's looking from the outside in, these are
Mhm.
some constructive criticism areas that can really help you thrive as a business owner, also personally.
Absolutely. And I mean, my function is personal and professional development, and everybody always wants to know, like, what do you do? And, it is a lot, right? Because team building is something that is not, it's a task, right? But it's not something that you can necessarily measure, until you start to see the team cultivate, right? Or even just being able to help people realize how they're showing up and where there may be a misstep on why we might not be making progress in certain areas as well, too, right? So, I mean, a lot of the things that I do is pretty intrinsic because I'm actually dealing with the person, right? We do talk business because that's what we're doing here, but we're actually dealing with the person and we're not overlooking the fact that we're people to people, and we're doing things together to get things done.
Well, great. So give us an example of your ideal client and the types of services that you offer, because I mean, it's helped me tremendously. Third party validation is always key. That's something that you promote. My business and personally myself have benefited and improved since encountering your services, and just you personally as well. And again, the purpose of the show is tips on how to live your best life. And so I want to promote, just as you and the people that I bring on as guests, to promote positive awareness, ways that you can elevate your vibrations, your energy level, to get you to be your highest self, living your optimal best.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm a consultant. So, I mean, essentially, I will come in someone's business and kind of line up beside them as their co captain, to help them see those blind spots that they may see or even give them a different perspective. I'm an out of the box strategy thinker. And I'm also a project manager. So basically helping to, get things done in a timely fashion and move the, timeline forward is something that I'm capable and able to do. But more or less, I really have been taking my time bringing on clients, Dr. Nancy, because I do want to work with somebody that wants to be better. I do care about business and I want to be just as passionate as they are about their business, but I would want to work with somebody that's not so ego driven, right? They want to do the work, to show up and be a better person, because we're going to have disagreements. We're going to bump heads. And I don't want that to derail our progress, right? And most of the time, that's why people fall out. They don't move forward because, there's a head bump and they're unable to recover, and so I really try my best to, prevent those. They happen. We can't always stop it from happening, but to show up and let them, let or any of my clients or my business partners know that I really am here to help, and I don't want to be a detriment to anyone, just like I wouldn't want someone to be a detriment to me. Right. So I like working with people who want to work with me. I'm not trying to take on every business. I want to work with businesses that I believe in and they believe in me and what I'm doing, because we're doing something different. There's not a lot of organizations that are out here that are people focused. We are putting people first. And it's not about just the profits. You don't have a business without people. And I feel like in our society, we forget that. And so, I'm working with those that want to be the change that they wish to see, like yourself. And they want to really make an impact and show up as a better person, because we know that that changes our reality and the people that we surround ourselves with as well.
Absolutely. I love the concept out of the box strategist, right?
Mm-hmm.
That takes a lot of energy, everyone, and it's behind the scenes. So you don't even really see any of that going on.
Yeah.
So when you pay Shasta, her organization, to come into your business, and she puts on her thinking caps on how best to improve your inner back office workings, also your outwardly public appearance and branding. That's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of unseen work.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can't get back. When I show up and do my best, and I'm giving you the ideas and the strategies and the resources and connections, that's something that you cannot get back. And so there's no refunds over here, because I'm showing up, giving my best, and if we can work together, we're going to be able to get it done. You
That's right.
know, so.
I often say time is life, right? And
Yes.
you cannot get that back. And when you pay for a service and it's to make you a better person, for you to implement these processes, not necessarily for you, Shasta, to do
Hmm.
it,
That's right.
it feels like no work has been done, but really has.
It's so true, right? Because everybody wants to measure, we talk about key performing indicators, KPIs, right? And everybody wants to be able to measure and track. But I mean, honestly, you have to start looking at yourself, right? And seeing everything's not going to be a visual. You have to be like, dang, now since I've been doing this work, I actually can see where I may be falling short, or I can see where, I may need to tighten up on my communication skills, right? Because this is all a part of business, and there's so many people doing business that do not have good communication skills. They don't have good leadership. They don't have good customer service, and they may be making money, which a lot of people think calls that success, right? But if you have high turnover, you have people that don't like you, they don't like working with you, are you really successful? So, we have to really kind of think about that, because everybody wants to correlate money to success. And while money is helpful and we do need it to work and pay bills, there's a lot of other tenants that go along with that. And so I'm here to help bring that to light.
Well, that's right. So, you want an optimal workplace environment, and we can all strive to be better. And when you're in the business, you're head down and in it. So you can't always see all the things that go on that could negatively impact your business.
That's right.
So, organizations like yours really do help. I mean, it's really helped with what I'm doing as well. And the other thing I wanted to mention too, Shasta, is that you're very resourceful, and meaning that there's soft leads and introductions to things that your business can benefit from, and where otherwise you wouldn't know, right? So the best resources is coming from word of mouth, or somebody
Mhm.
that's done business with a service that you may need.
That's
And
right.
again, trial and error, marketing dollars, you can waste a lot of money and get
Mhm.
no return on your investment when you're starting from scratch and you have no connected resources in the community.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a benefit, right? When you tap into me as a consultant or a project manager, I've been on the ground doing footwork for a long time. So I do have a lot of connections, and people, know, like, and trust me, the people that do. And so when I refer somebody to do business, they're pretty much ready to go, right? Because they know that I'm going to give them a valid lead, and the person's going to get a good referral source as well. So, I mean, that is definitely all a part of it. But, relationships make the world go around, and we just need to be better about that. And I feel like if we all just worked on ourselves, that it would show up in society, and maybe we wouldn't see so much negativity.
Yeah, so I say relationships are the new like collaboration or community, right? And we
Currency.
currency, we've gotten
Mhm.
away from that, and that's what really makes the world go round. But again, we have to be selective about who enters our space and who we do business with. Just because you have money, if
Mhm.
you don't have good credibility and good
Right.
ethics, I don't want to deal with you.
That's exactly right. So having good business etiquette and good business acumen, those are things that you just have to learn over time. But being with someone that does have those skills, obviously, that can take you so much further than by yourself, obviously, because they're definitely needed, when we're trying to get to the million and $1 billion deals.
Okay. So
Mhm.
listen, Shasta, I know that you've been doing some you've been doing a lot of work, and you've got an upcoming event too.
Yes.
Do you want to tell the viewers, listeners, how to really get a hold of you initially just for your services, and then we can talk about the upcoming event, or do you want to do it all in one setting here?
We can do it all in one because my time is wrapping up here.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to put up the flyer.
Yes, come out this Friday to Trevor's in Scottsdale. We're going to be having crafted cocktails and conversations with other small business owners that are looking to be the change they wish to see. We will be out at 6 o'clock. Trevor's on McDowell Road and Scottsdale Road. So they have two locations, but we're going to be at their first location. And I'm super excited to connect with other small business owners, in the Valley. We've been hosting these networking events pretty much monthly. Not over the summer though, since it's been so hot. So we're super excited to get back out and start networking with people. But yeah, please come out and see us there. You can also go visit my website, capitalstewardship.org, where you can see and learn more about my services and the type of businesses that I work with and what I do. But yeah, I'm just super excited, and I'm super glad for you, Dr. Nancy, because we've been doing this now for the last year or two, and there's lots of things that are coming down the pipeline here. So super excited.
Super excited. All you guys, I'm just telling you, you need to just tap into all of our social media outlets, tune in to Wellness Wednesdays to hear what is happening and up and coming for, this last quarter of the year
Yes.
going into 2024.
Yes.
We are super excited.
Lots of great things happening. And we're definitely looking to get connected with those that want to get connected with us, want to make a change, and they want to be better people so that we can do better business.
Right. It's all about alignment, right? We've got to be aligned, wanting to make a difference in a positive way, and be activated. So actively engaged in doing what you do best.
Absolutely. And if you guys ever want to get in contact with me, you can reach me on my direct line at 623-400-1345. I'm definitely open to working with business owners that are looking to be a part of a network. We have tons of projects and campaigns that we can plug people into. So there's not just, we're part of a network and we're just hanging out and socializing. No, we actually have real work that's going on, and we're looking for other business owners that can get behind some of the initiatives that we're working on. So if that's you, we'll definitely come out on Friday or connect with us further.
All right. Well, listen, Shasta, lastly, I just want to say to everyone that this is live stream, but it is recorded. So it's live stream on the LinkedIn channel here, Dr. Nancy Gaines Dillard. It's live streamed to YouTube on Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine. It's live streamed to Facebook, Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine. And if you text 26786 on the tickler there on the bottom and the keyword Dr. Nancy, all one word, you can have access to Living Your Best Life campaign and access to all the Wellness Wednesdays that have been done previously to this recording, including this one. So thank you. Bye for now.